Well, thank you everyone for joining in. A couple of new faces here today for me, so that's really nice. If you've been here before, then you know what we're all about. But for those who are new, this is our 40K to 400K formula, where basically we're going to share with you a lot of the strategy that we're using to help grow e-commerce businesses in Australia today. So there are a couple goals for us today that we want to achieve. Firstly, guys, if you're not in the Shopify Australia group, could someone leave a link for me to our Shopify Australia group? That's just our free Facebook group where we share this. And if you go there and I think you got to either comment on one of our streams, or if you go and make sure you're registered as a guest today, I think we should have a link there as well. You just go on the run for prizes, and we give out a lot of our prizes every week. So make sure you're registered and you're in the Shopify Australia group as well. You should see some links in the chat here if you haven't already. But a couple of things I'd love for you guys to do. I know we got babies and things like this. We're all very busy. I get it. So what we're going to try and do is lock away the next 60 minutes for us to give you the most value that we can in that short amount of time. Try to have your camera on. It is just a lot nicer when I can see faces and get kind of feedback with the audience, because we do quite a lot of talk back and things like that. It just makes it a better experience for everyone. And lastly, use a chat. Get active in the chat. If you have questions, we really encourage questions throughout. But instead of just going on off mute and speaking, just so we can get through the presentation, just leave any questions or anything you need to say in the chat box, and we'll try to get to everyone's questions throughout this. But be active there, because we'll probably be asking you questions as well. Now, like I said, there are a couple goals at the end of today. What we want you to understand from this is exactly how you're supposed to be able to convert more browsers into buyers. So really, this is all about conversion rate, and that is the performance of your website. How can you actually turn people who land your website into someone who actually buys a product from you? And continuing from this is then how are we going to nail paid ads? Some people here who are watching either the recording or are live, maybe you're already running ads or you've worked with an agency, but either way, you've put a bit of money into trying to get more traffic to your website, but you haven't really seen that return in your ad spend, which is making it hard for you to continue spending on the business. So we're going to tackle some of that as well. And then lastly is we want you to get very clear when you walk away from today in terms of what actions you need to take to start seeing growth in your business. And we call this creating a bit of a pathway to profit. And this is where we help people to get really nailed down on what are the actual actions and steps that you need to implement in your business over the next 90, 180, 270, and 360 days. And we'll help some people tackle that today for themselves. But if you are watching this, you're probably thinking, is this going to actually be helpful to you? So a couple of things to cover here is that, yes, it doesn't really matter what niche that your business is in or that you're thinking of getting into. What we're teaching here is evergreen. As long as you're selling a product and it's not taboo, this will work for you now. It'll work for you in 10 years, and it probably worked 10 years ago as well. Just slight things change, but the strategies always remain evergreen. And is it going to work at your size? Pretty important. I know a lot of people that we get here are more in the beginning stage, and there are some people who watch along who are scaling the business. And guys, I just want you to be comfortable knowing that even if you're just starting, what we're going to teach you is the same stuff that we actually implement for businesses who are scaling. So when you come here and you learn these different strategies, just understand that you're kind of getting a leg up on the competition who are also looking to start businesses by doing it right the first time. So it's definitely going to be very relevant to you no matter what size you're at. And lastly, is it going to work now? So I spoke to someone today actually on the phone who was being taught to still just do drop shipping on eBay and just spamming ad spend into it, just hoping for the best with products that he even admitted were being undercut by his own competition in that industry. And it was just like a pointless kind of exercise for him to lose money. And he's like, this doesn't work. How do I do it? What we're teaching is relevant today. That kind of era of e-commerce and Shopify, et cetera, that's gone. Right now, it's all about how to build sustainable brands that can differentiate you from your competition and allow you to scale. And that's what we're teaching, what is working right now. So if you're here, there's probably a couple of things that would resonate with you, and I want to double check that. So you're probably someone who feels passionate about your why behind growing a business, whether it's just because you're savvy about business and you love it, or you're doing this to be able to grow a legacy for your family, or because you have a product that you love so much and you really need the world to see this product and to get it out there more. If you're either of those people, then this is definitely for you, because we love working with people who are passionate, who wake up and want to do this every single day. Secondly, you're probably feeling overwhelmed. Honestly, a lot of people get into e-commerce and don't really fully comprehend how many different moving parts there are to e-commerce. They've probably heard a lot of things where you just get a product, put it on a website, run ads, and you're good to go. It is a lot deeper than that if you want to do this properly. And we really want to help you to overcome the overwhelm by getting really solid on what are your next couple steps to see the growth that you need to see. And lastly, it's just look, we've got to be honest with ourselves. Like most people here are in running businesses because we want to make money, and we don't just want to, run a business that makes revenue, but all of it goes to the ATO, your staff, the manufacturers, and you have nothing to show for it at the end of the month. We're here to help you create real profitable businesses that will actually allow you to sustain a good living and build into whatever kind of an empire it is that you want to grow. If it's going to be a legacy for your kids when you move on, or if it's just something you want to sell in a couple of years for a bit of cash, then this is what we're trying to help you achieve. Not just have a business that makes revenue but no profit. So there's going to be a couple of things about us. Now, I'll be presenting most of today. Usually it's Paul. Paul's a little bit under the weather, so I'll do a little of the speaking for him. But you'll see Paul here. Why should you listen to Paul's team? This should probably be. And basically, it's because we've been doing this for about, I don't know, well, Paul's been doing it for about 25 plus years. But the agency Insightful, where we build high converting websites for e-com businesses, has been running for about 15 years now. We've been running the eCommerce Circle, a private mentoring community for Aussie-based e-com businesses, for about 3 now. And we've tackled just about every problem that there is in e-commerce. We've done these same strategies time and time again for multiple different businesses who have scaled to 6 and 7 figures per month. So basically what I'm saying here is that we have done the things that we're teaching you. It's not just like going off vibes and what we think might work. We actually do a lot of the work for businesses every single day, and what we teach is directly from those results that we get. So it's all stuff that works right now. These are just a couple more accolades you can read through. This is what Paul has achieved and what he's done over some time, but it's really just to say we've been doing it, and anything you're going through, we have probably dealt with it and have some sort of solution to it. So that's why you should be listening to us. We're not just people who kind of dabble in e-commerce. This is all we do is e-commerce on Shopify all day, every day. And like I said, it is those by being in the trenches and doing this nonstop, that is how we actually come up with the things that we teach you, not the other way around. And it's super important. And like, these are just some results we pulled up from our Shopify backend, just a couple of the clients. We're not going to share who they are because we don't want to divulge that kind of info. But look, it's just to say this is real. We are getting results like these. These strategies do work. If you've got a good product and you're passionate and you're really trying to make this work, there are strategies to get this going and you can achieve results like these, like Sam. Sam runs Bayside Golf, an awesome member of ours in the community. He sells golf simulators, and it's not even his full-time. He has a full-time corporate gig, and he just does this on the side. He had a pretty okay, website that was doing about 40, 50K a month, selling golf simulators, like at-home golf simulators. And he just came to us. He was like, "How do I scale this thing?" And we go, well, it comes down to 2 things. We're going to really need to revamp this website to make it convert. We're going to make sure that we get a positive return on your ad spend when we are scaling, and then get that brand messaging really strong. We put all those things together, and within probably about 6 months, you can see there, just this is an old snippet too, but he's seeing about 450K per month. It's probably changed and gone up since then, but really awesome jumps for Sam. And there's a couple others we'll get to in a bit. But guys, I do have an unhidden agenda for those of you who are new today. Honestly, even those who are already working with us but maybe haven't taken advantage of what we're going to offer at the end of today, just want to let you know that it is 60 minutes, and I'm going to try go through as much that I can to teach you guys in 60 minutes, but we only have so much time, and I want to make sure at the end of this, if you did find it helpful and you do want to engage with us moving forward in how we can help you, we're going to share with you how you can do that towards the end. And I just want to know, for those who are in attendance today, with the chat function below, just let me know, is there and Justin's already said yes, but I just love to know, is it okay with you guys if we do share how we can help you towards the end after you've received all the value? Justin said yes. Can I get a yes from anyone else? Chris, sorry, I just saw your comment before about lacking direction. Gotcha. Perfect. Thanks, Chris. Awesome. Yep, sure. Lovely. Thank you so much, guys. Cool. So we'll do that after we go through the good stuff. And by the way, because there's just a couple of you along watching us today, drop a link to your site. I think I've already got Chris's. Share if you're comfortable, drop a link to yours. We'll probably get to that at some point today and give you that direct feedback that you're after. Something to also keep note of, this is just going to allow me to understand where you're at when we do chat. So everyone's in a different stage of business. Justin, you're in startup, no problem at all, mate. So this is it's going to give me an idea to understand where you're at. Like, are you startup, set up, grow up, or scale up? If you're happy with sharing that, just drop which one you are so I know. And if you ask any questions, I kind of have context to what you're asking. Cool. Sorry, I skipped that one. I'll go back. this is just another case study quickly. This is Paul and Delane, a lovely couple. They run Nature's Pantry. They do, I've loved their products myself. They do collagen and protein kind of powders and things like that. Same problem with them. They came to us. I can't remember how much they were doing. It was probably about 20K a month, maybe less than that. Had a pretty crappy website. Chris, you're 2 to 3. Awesome. I had a pretty crappy website, no real strategy behind the brand or how they're marketing. And again, they had this product that was awesome. They're like, we got to get it out there more. How do we do it? We're not e-commerce people. So they came to us. We had the chat with them like, all right, you've got this product. We know the product is good. You're already selling a little bit of it. The two things you need to go over is, again, high converting website and that brand messaging and a strong digital strategy. We turn those things around, and within 4 to 5 months, I mean, you can look at the results up here for yourself on what we're kind of doing with these guys now. They're having an awesome time and building out their business. So again, this stuff works with just about every niche you could think of. And not my favorite slide, but a lot of people think that we just kind of fluke this stuff. And I would love to know from you guys, when you see people talk about this kind of stuff, what do you think it is, or why do you think it is that they're able to do these things? Do you think it's because they just get a little bit lucky? Like sometimes people do get lucky with a product or something. Do you think it's just magic, like there is some otherworldly spirit that is making them make money that you don't quite have yourself? Or is it systems? Kind of a no-brainer there. Thank you, Chris, for affirming that is systems. You are correct. Everything we do, again, it's repeatable because these are systems, or maybe it's the other way around. But look, guys, if you can place these things into your business, as long as the product is good, there is demand for the product, it solves a problem, it's not crap, you can see these kind of results. And this is how we replicate it time and time again. So I'm going to kind of start getting into the good stuff for you. So I'll let you take a couple of guesses, but this is the more orders model. And I just want to check with Paul and Roxy. Can you see the entire thing and my tabs aren't blocking you? You can see the
Yeah, I can
triangle?
see everything, man. Yeah, all good.
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. So this is what we call the more orders model. And it really comes down to three sides. These are the three major things that we help people with when it comes to turning the business around from, either from scratch to growing, or from, decently profitable and into scaling. And I'd love for you guys to have a guess. What do you think are the three things from a high level that we implement, or that anyone can implement, to really turn around levers in the business and start seeing sales? What are the biggest things that matter the most? I want you to take a guess, especially if you haven't been here before. So that's Chris, sure, I think a couple others I can't see in the audience. What three things? Abandoned carts. Okay, look, this is part of the equation, but we're thinking really high level here. What are the three major things if you want an online business to thrive? Abandoned carts would be a small part of one of the bigger things. I'll let you have a couple more guesses before I put you all out of your misery, but I have the answers written down. Yeah, thank you for not cheating. Share, awesome. Anyone else? Chris, you want to have a guess? What do you reckon, mate? Three things. If you nail these three things, you'll have a sustainable ecom business that'll thrive. Come on, guys, there's no bad guesses. Audience conversions, pretty
They
solid.
may
Yeah,
they may already be on the screen.
What was that?
They may already be on the screen.
Skip one.
Yes, you're showing the answers already.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, congratulations, guys. You've all learned. So there you go. No, it does. It's story and strategy, guys. So I'll take you through. We have to use alliteration. So we do story, strategy, but I'll break down what these all mean so you understand what we're getting at. So the store is your website. And this is all about how your website is built in order to convert. So a lot of people kind of disregard this. They think if you just have a great product and you can run some ads, that you have a business that can scale. And sometimes a product can carry a business, and a lot of times it'll fall flat. And when people come to us and they're already growing a business and they're like, look, we're trying to scale, but we're putting more money into ads, it's just not quite working. Or even if you're just starting, you're like, oh, mate, I can't get any sales. They'll link me to the website and I'll go straight to it and I'll say, okay, what's your conversion rate looking like? And a majority of the time we'll hear under 1%. And that conversion rate, it doesn't matter if you've put your heart and soul into that website, if you paid a lot of money for it already, or if you've tried your best or whatever, and that's what you're getting. People can get very personally attached to that number, but that is the bottom line, guys. If our website isn't converting at least 2 to 3%, which is an industry standard, but we should be looking for even more than that, then that is going to severely impact your ability to scale and make money in an e-commerce business. So it's all about how is this website built to convert? And that's from the structure standpoint, how it's coded, what's included, how easy is the experience for people to use. Think about it. The easier your website is to use, the more clear it is for people to buy from you, the more sales you will get. Massive part of the equation. The second part is story. 3.7% awesome show. And the second point is story. And this ties into conversion rate as well. It does bump the conversion rate. But basically, this is our brand messaging. It's the story behind our brand and how we communicate that on our website, on our ads, on our email, on our social media, everywhere, so that we actually connect with our audience. The important thing here is, guys, that we help small Aussie-based ecom businesses grow, right? Anywhere up to about $1 million a month. This is kind of like a sweet spot, like from scratch to about that. That's where we help, right? We're not helping Kmart. We're not helping Nike. And so when people build websites, they tend to build them as if they are Nike or Kmart. And here's the thing. We can't compete with bigger businesses like that who have much deeper much deeper pockets and could essentially just get our products and sell them for cheaper. We can't compete that way. So what we teach people to do is to get really, really crystal clear on who our audience is, what niche we're serving, what are the benefits of why people should buy from us, and why we're different from the competition. And this is how we become really competitive without having to go into, cutting the cost of our products and, trying to just scale solely on more ad spend. And it's super important, guys, if you're starting out, that you really nail this brand message from the very get-go, because then everything's going to be aligned as you go. So you got the brand messaging when you make the website, that goes in your website. When you run your ads, that goes in your ads. Email, same thing. That congruency is super important, and it's another thing that so many brands miss, and they think I can just put more money into ads and then I'll grow. Doesn't work that way. You'll just end up burning money if you don't nail these two things, and that really increases your conversion rate. Paul has this saying, and I'll try and do it my best. This kind of, well, I guess it's a bit of a metaphor, but really it's like a dating metaphor, right? So I'm gonna do my best at this, Paul. So say you're single, right, and you're looking for a partner, you want to settle down. The traffic, well, that's how many girls, let's just say how many girls or guys you get numbers from and you set up a first date. How many people can you get to that next step? That's like your ad to your website, right? Now, once you have that date, you got to show up and you got to look good and you got to speak good. Okay. You don't want people to think you're a little bit, how you going? Like you want to appear pretty, you want people to feel like they're having a good experience with you. So we dress well, and we like to say that's how your website is built. And you speak well, and that is how your brand messaging is. You nail these two things, you're going to get a higher conversion rate of that second date than if you had, then say if you rocked up in Crocs and trackies. Okay. So we get more traffic to that website, it converts well, and that's going to give us more conversions. It's the same thing. So if you're not looking good, you're not speaking good, you're simply just not going to see that growth. Let me know, guys, did that make sense, or did I just sound like an idiot saying that? I'll be honest. Because I do.
It's good.
Yeah,
you made me proud.
Yeah,
good
beautiful,
job.
beautiful. But guys, seriously, if at any point this doesn't make sense, just awesome, Chris. I'm glad that cut through. If it doesn't, guys, or anything doesn't at any point throughout today, just drop a question and I'll try to. Someone let me know, by the way, because I can't see chat all the time. Let me know if there's a question and I'll get to it.
Yep.
And last bit is that strategy. And this is more of a digital strategy, but it's also kind of just an overall strategy of how you build your business moving forward. So what we like to do, and we'll kind of go into this for a couple of businesses. I think it's on the next panel. You can get an example here. Like over the next 90, 180, 270, 360 days, which elements of your business do you need to really focus on to see the most growth? A lot of people get stuck in a lot of different weeds, and it's kind of like that whole spinning plates, on those sticks kind of thing. You're doing everything wrong because you're trying to do so much. Whereas we're like, look, you do this step by step, you nail the most important structural bits, and then from there, we then figure out, okay, now we need to get more traffic because we have the website. When's the time to do it? How much do we have to spend in budget? How fast do we need to move? And then over time, which different elements are we going to actually add to this pathway as we go? And the reason we do this is because then if you can organize your growth 360 days ahead, it just means your day-to-day operations are so locked in that, especially if you're someone doing this as a side thing, as a side hustle, it's super important that the time you do spend, because it's not unlimited, is going to be spent on the most impactful things on your business, that whole 80-20 rule. Spend the time, the 80% of your time on the 20% of things that are going to make you the most return in your business. So that's why this is super important. And I really want you guys to walk away with this from today, having an understanding of what your plan is moving forward for the next at least 90 days, because then you can return to it in 90 days, reevaluate, and do the same thing. So hopefully that all made sense so far, guys. What I want to do from here is actually bring up an example of a website. Anyone in this audience? So I saw Chris. We kind of just grabbed your website anyway. I think Paul did. Just let me know, mate, if you're happy with it. What I want to do is open up the website and start tackling it from all three of these different sides of the triangle to kind of
Mm.
picture out, okay, what kind of things do we need to improve to see growth in this business? So was that Chris? Did I hear Chris there?
Yeah, that's
Uh,
all good. Sorry, guys.
no, no,
Got an
you're
18
fine.
month old here screaming. Yeah, but no, all good. All good. Happy to do
Awesome,
that.
mate. Awesome, awesome. How old's the little one, did you say?
18 months.
18 months. Beautiful. All right, no problem. We're no strangers to kids crying around here, so don't
Yeah.
no worries. Just come off mute when you're ready to go. But I'll get up
Easy.
your website. Give me a second, guys, to just load it up and I'll start sharing that new one. Um, cool. Sorry, Paul. Can you relink that? Oh, there it is. Thank you, Roxy. All right, I'll pop this up, get it streaming once again. In the meantime, mate, if you want to, oh, you're still off mute. Perfect. While I get this
Yeah.
up, and I bumble around doing this, can you give a bit of introduction to yourself, the business, what you're all about, and tell me where you're at and what you're struggling with, and then we can kind of tackle this thing.
Yeah, sweet as mate. No worries. So I'm Chris. I've been running Lawless for about 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I have been selling CrossFit sort of niche gear with my grips being the main seller.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've had a bit of a tumultuous kind of 18 months with manufacturing stuff ups and delays and stuff like that. So I'm considering at the moment doing a bit of a pivot to in the same sort of fitness health sort of niche, but doing something that is more consumable, something like electrolytes and stuff like that, like the sachet powder sort of thing. So instead of doing training gear, looking more at recovery type stuff. But yeah, everything that I've ever sold, I use myself, all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's about me so far, mate.
Yeah, lovely. I mean, you got a cool looking website as well. I love the product, and we're not going to touch too much on product necessarily today. We're going to go through mainly the other things, but definitely like the pivot you're talking about, like this is a natural kind of problem that you will come into an e-commerce at some point. You're going to need a pivot to different products and if necessary. But the thing that's never going to change
Yeah.
is we need a website that can perform. So what we like to say is our website needs to be kind of like your 24/7 salesperson. So what I want to tackle now is just the website and how it's built. And I'd love to, if you could tell me a little bit about the website now. Like, has this been around for 5 years as well? How did you build that? And how is it performing? Do you know the conversion rate currently?
Yeah, so I've had a sort of few iterations.
Yep.
The one that I've got at the moment would be just on a call. Sorry, sweetheart. Yeah, so I've had at the moment it's about like a 2% conversion rate.
Yep.
I've had I've sort of been running low on stock since I'm looking at doing something else. So
Yep.
down to sort of, just a couple of sizes and stuff. So that's sort of impacting things a little bit. But yeah, sort of I think it's a premium Shopify theme. It works pretty well. I haven't had too many bugs or anything with it. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And are we running ads at the moment as well for the business?
Yeah, I'm spending about $100 a day just at the moment,
Yeah,
just through
yeah.
Facebook.
So pretty decent, definitely a decent budget to work with. And how is the return healthy at the moment? Like, are you profitable with that return?
Yeah, pretty good. Like it's just at the moment, it's sort of been I still work full time as a teacher.
Yeah,
Um,
cool.
and just yeah, it's
And two
kind of
little
been
kids.
business been on the back burner just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is profitable, but I'm looking to sort of get
Mm.
sort of, more
Yeah, awesome.
bit more
Awesome.
direction with stuff again. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what this is all about. Like, so even for people who are watching, you might be starting from scratch. In this case, Chris has already got a website. It's already converting at 2%. We are a bit profitable in ads. What we want to do here is, okay, cool. What do we need to improve to start bumping all those numbers up? And it's going to be a bit of a trifecta of things, just based on what we just went through before and what you told me now. Like 2% as a conversion rate for cold traffic in this industry, it's decent. It's okay. Like you said, it is making you profitable. But naturally, even if we could increase this to 3%, I'm sure you could kind of crunch the numbers in your head. That one extra 1% conversion rate just means for every, say, $3,000 a month you spend on your business, say we do 10,000 in sales from that direct traffic. If we were to increase this from 2 to 3% conversion rate, you're going from 10K revenue to 15K revenue, just like that.
Yeah.
And that's from that same $3,000 in ad spend, which is why this is so important for us. A lot of people are like, oh, to increase the revenue, you just got to spend more on ads. And it's not necessarily the way. So we like to start by looking at this first, because any ads person who's worth their weight in salt will tell you, I can't spend more money on ads for you because it's just going to be burned. You need to focus on how it's converting first. That way we can go back to the ads and then pump more money in, knowing you'll be really profitable. So awesome. Things are going well for you so far. And we just need to kind of put a fire on that, put a bit of gas on that fire in the right places. So what I'm going to do is I think I might tackle the brand messaging first, because I think immediately that might have the most impact on your business because it's missing quite a bit. Now, I'm going to start by showing an example of another website. Give me one sec while I get this up. Have you ever jumped into much brand messaging work before?
I've done a little bit of it,
Yep.
but haven't done it properly and haven't done it for a little while. So yeah, I'm definitely all ears.
Yeah, perfect. And look, in your industry, here's the thing. Again, the more saturated an industry is, the more important this stuff becomes, because this is how we really differentiate. Like people, when they buy wrist wraps or anything, you can buy wrist wraps from so many businesses. It's about the message behind those. Like, why am I buying from this person? And this is what that brand messaging really is. So this is Toybox Tales, a client of ours, did the website and the brand messaging. And I know it's a different industry. Doesn't really matter. It's about how we do this and how you can replicate this for your business too. That is so important. So do we all see Toybox Tales, guys? Is that what you're seeing?
Yep.
Yep, perfect. So when you land here, you can see immediately the experience that we get if we just look at a branding point of view is the first thing we see is unleash your child's imagination at the toy store, but every toy tells a tale. From educational games, creative play sets, we have everything you need to spark wonder for your child at every age. Now, there's a few reasons why we do this. It's because, one, we want to make sure people, as soon as they land here, they know exactly that they're in the right spot. They're looking for the right products and they're with the right people. That is the two most important thing. And to make them understand this, this is what the brand messaging comes down to. We kind of speak things that they will want to hear in order for them to say, yes, this is the right place. So like parents, Chris and Sarah who run this business, they have a young daughter, Elsie, and like they know like what parents want to think, right? The same way where I'm sure you're lifting and like you said, you're using all the gear that you're selling, you would know what would I want to hear when I'm buying these things from someone else. And we really dive deep into that to give them that feeling. So when parents land here, they feel like this is something that I like this feeling and I want that feeling for my kids. And we really want to nail that as soon as people land. So you might find you have a high bounce rate potentially. It's always going to come down to this kind of thing. Like immediately, do they recognize that this is the place I need to be to get the product that I want? And you'll also see we get very specific with keywords throughout as well. For example, toy store, creative play sets, also educational games. This is tactical as well. This is another thing that brand messaging is really important for because this is what we call our H1 tag on the website, and this is our H2 tag on the website. This is going into conversion rate optimization a little bit and website building, but basically these H1 and H2 tags, Google uses this to pick up certain keywords and gives you ranking. So we call this on-page SEO. And it's just a way to also get yourself free ranking if you're using the correct keywords. So the brand messaging here kind of hits hard twice. And if we go back to what you've got right now, it's just Hyper Grips 4.0, the next evolution, chalkless grips, which we've gone a little bit into it here, but I would love to get a lot deeper onto what is the message behind this brand and why is it that someone's going to come here and look for this product. And also kind of get clear on, and you can tell me this, mate, like, do we know, are people searching up Hyper Grips or is it chalkless grips? What are people searching up to find this product in particular? Do you know? So I see you're carrying a baby. I'll let you have a sit down, get you off mute, and then you can get back to me. But there we go.
It's just getting some reps in. Just
yeah.
The way they call it, the farmer's walk. You just have a kid under each arm and just walk. I can relate to this very well, Chris. I've got a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and it's constant like, I'm on a meeting,
mate,
go away.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I'll have to I might have to go in a sec actually and have to listen to the recording.
No
I'm sorry.
No stress. That's all
no
right.
worries.
Sorry.
we might continue through it.
We'll just do it, Chris, and then we'll talk, and he doesn't need to engage if you want.
Yeah,
That might be
no
easier.
problem. No problem. And I'm not going to have a go.
Thanks,
If anyone's
guys.
watching, no worries, mate. Have a good one. We'll give you the recording soon. I'm not going to, on the spot, try and come up with the most perfect kind of H1 and H2 here. It is something that you have to spend time on. But if we use this as an example, guys, this is the kind of depth and detail we really want to get into. Remember, we're not Kmart, we're not Nike. We can't just say, just do it. We need to really make people understand who we are and how they should feel when they land on us. And I'm going to show you more of the website below. Straight away, we go from that message to nothing but proof on who we are and why you should be trusting to buy from us. So we bake in our reviews at the top. We go straight into brand trust icons. And these icons here, it's brand trust. It's not product trust, right? We're not telling you that here, this isn't for like delivery guaranteed or why you should buy a certain product. This is about why you should buy from us and not our competitors. Again, we can't compete with Kmart, so we go, okay, this is what we can offer that other people cannot. And you can see we go through all of this messaging before we even get into the collections page or the shopping experience, which is just super, super important, guys. If you're planning on just going straight to shopping, you're going to find yourself have a very, very high bounce rate, and ultimately your conversion rate will never be what it needs to be. But look, that's just a branding side there, guys. You can get really deep with this. You'll see Chris and Sarah even share a story on themselves and why they're here. Again, we want to capture why someone will be buying from you as much as possible. And you'll find that people do buy from the people behind brands, not necessarily just the product at a certain level. And that's what we're really tapping into. So that brand messaging is super, super important. But now I want to kind of jump into more of a conversion rate optimization side of things. So should I just continue through this website, Paul, or what do you reckon? Or is there anyone else?
Yeah, I reckon so. I mean, just start drawing on the screen and tell Chris like what's missing.
I'm the Zoom rookie and I'm on a trackpad. How am I editing here?
Oh, okay. I'll draw and you talk. All right.
No worries. So
here's there you go.
Instantly, guys, this is our first experience, and this is one that we harp on quite a lot. There are a lot of different aspects to a website that will impact your conversion rate, but this is like some of the biggest stuff that you can implement this week. So this is where you want your heading 1 and your heading 2 tag to go. So for example, the heading 2 might be the next evolution in chalkless grips, and it needs to go right here. And above the H1, we need to have something that's going to attract the imagination like we do here as well, that we go a little bit deeper on who we are and why you should be shopping from us right here. And this needs to be your H1 and H2. So if you take anything away from today about how your website should be designed, we'll focus here on the home page. So we got the H1, H2. This is our why you are here, why you should buy from us. Obviously, the nicer your product image is in the back, the more real it is, the better. For example, like we got this beautiful picture of these kids actually playing with our products. So the better that is, the better the experience will be. But then below, you can see we've got drawn here. This is where your 4 brand trust icons should come into. It's super important that, see, 1, 2, 3, 4 Paul's drawing there. You can go 5 if you like. But this is where we're going to nail home what are the differences in us and everyone else out there and why you should buy from us. And you can see we're really repeating this because of how important it is. And we've got a couple of reviews here, which is great. But something you want to think about is how the real estate on this website is used. We're taking up a lot of space for these small testimonials where we could just have the how many reviews we have straight up there. It's very obvious. It's very clear. People can see it straight away, but it's not taking up so much space. The more you make people scroll through your website to find information, the longer it takes for them to make a decision and the less decisions they will make, ultimately lowering conversion rate. So we try to get as much of that out there as soon as possible in a way that is really easy to digest. And this is just a homepage, guys. If we go below, so going to bestsellers, this is good. Right after we've kind of created that rapport, perfect. We go into your bestsellers, the most profitable products, the things that you want to go out the door the most, we put to the top. So he's done that well. There are a couple of things I'll go through for improvements, but then it's just kind of collections. And we have a bit of branding. You'll notice, and this is something people tend to shy away from, is putting that brand messaging towards the top. Instead, they put it towards the bottom, and it's kind of just all in the wrong space. So I've probably already left this website by now, by the time I'm reading this. And I know probably 98% of the people who did leave left because of this. So we have got a bit of that brand messaging, which is awesome, but it's really about, guys, nailing it down and putting it in the right places in the website. We've got to let it down here. So he's doing some things well, but there's a lot of things that could be done better. And I just want to show you an example of look, we custom build a lot of this. So yes, it's not going to look perfect when you do it within a week, but it's something you keep building towards. And it is, look, having very clear, easy to use collections. For these guys, they have a lot of different products. So for them, they need very clear collections. But even when we go down to shopping products, it's a very simple, easy to use experience. If we add to cart, it'll open up a side cart over here so we can continue our shopping experience. We can do add-ons really easily. Just the use of the website is super, super crystal clear and easy to use. But then you can see more why you should buy from us, more brands baked into it. It's super important, guys, that we're really nailing down why. That why is so important. But I'm going to go to a product page to kind of nail home another thing. But I'll have a look at Chris's quickly because he might have a great product page. And so far, guys, for those who are still around, does everything about the brand messaging and why it's so important make sense to you so far? I want to make sure I don't kind of go to the next thing before we're comfortable, with what brand messaging. I see a thumbs up from Mike. Thank you, mate. Yes, Justin, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, perfect. So we'll go to this is collections page. I think I'll go through the collections page quickly, but for a business like this that's just starting out, we've got a couple products. It is very important, but honestly, this isn't where I'd spend too much time. If you're a business that has a lot of products, your collections page might be the most important page because people are going to go to your collections pages and think, okay, how do I find the product that I want? So I just want to show you what a good collections page should look and operate like. So we go to Chris's collection page, something to feel is sensory products. Now they got 5,000 SKUs. So this is why it's so important to nail this, because I can easily go here and say, okay, I got a 3 to 4 year old, boom, I can click this, and I'm after baby toys or novelty toys. Here I can click this, and it filters all those products. So now I don't have to search forever. It is very easy for me to find the correct product at the correct time, and it was just the easier it is, the more likely I am to buy from you. And it's the same with everyone. And think especially if you have an older generation of people buying from you, it'll be harder for them to use your website. So it's even twofold there. But if we go onto a product page, I'm really curious to see how he's done here. Cool, reversible knee sleeves, 7mm. We got star reviews, that's good. Scrollable photos, people using it. He's done some really good stuff. This is actually what I've suspected is that his product pages were probably going to be a lot better than everything else. Great photos. He's got the buy with Shop Pay here. Awesome. If you don't have this turned on, turn it on. Add to cart button instantly here. Guys, if you have an add to cart button, never make it transparent. We want to make this some sort of like green is always the color for action. Just never red unless it's really, really deeply in your branding to use red. Make our new price green, not red. Reviews are good. Right here, we're missing something, and I think is going to be a really big thing for Chris. And hopefully, when he watches this back, he thinks about this. Especially if you have a couple hero products, guys. If you have a few hero products, you really want to nail this product page because that's where a lot of people are going to be spending a lot of time in your business. And what we want to do here on product page is nail home. They've clicked through, they've shown interest. Now we have to reaffirm, why are you buying this particular product? And what we like to do is to really nail this into about 5 key benefits or features that we think the audience would be wanting the most when they're going to buy this. So we can do it in dot points. As long as we're reaffirming that and we put it right here, because this is where they see instantly. You want the first thing that they see when they land on a product page to be reaffirming, why am I about to click that shop button? So here we would have 5 things. If Chris was here, I'd have him help me go through what they might be, but it might, knee sleeves, I don't wear them, but it might be keep your knee in place. I don't know, premium quality material that's not made anywhere else, doesn't cause rashes, whatever it might be. These are the objections that might be causing your person to not buy. We address them all right here. And it's super important that we don't have gigantic descriptions. A lot of you watching might have a product page with very massive descriptions. We don't want that. The reason why is because it's going to take up so much real estate again. It's going to slow people's decision. They have to read a bunch of text just to understand what they're actually getting. And if we can make it easier and clearer, it's going to allow the decision to be made even easier. So if you have long product descriptions and information you need to include, typically we'd include it below. So we have done that below, which is great. I would even go one step further, put it into a drop down. So if people want it, they can click it, get it, but they don't have to spend time on it because they might want to go down and learn more about the product and about the reviews and things like this. And you don't want to make them spend more time scrolling. And also here we have the shipping things, which this is, if you have shipping policy, this is where you put it. Right below the buy button, because we want to reaffirm that they're about to make a good decision in buying from us. So I actually think if I was to rate Chris's product page, probably a solid 6 out of 10. Could be a lot better, but as far as the rest of the site goes, this bit's doing great. But I think that homepage really needs to nail home a lot more on that branding side of things, and that's going to make a massive difference for him. So look, there's the conversion rate side of things, guys, with the website, how it's built structurally, where everything goes, but then of course the brand messaging side of things, which is what are we actually saying to make people think they're in the right place, getting the right products. And if you nail these two things, then you can start scaling your ads. You can start looking to different ways to advertise, because we have a website that converts. If we don't, guys, back to the drawing board. For example, if Chris told me he was spending $3,000 a month, but he was on a 1% conversion rate and he wasn't profitable, I would say stop those ads. Stop them, because you're losing money. It's not doing much for you right now. Put any resource you have into getting these two things solid, and then we go back to running ads down the track and really figuring out how to scale this. And this comes down to the last bit we're going to go through for the event today, guys, and that's going to be that digital strategy, the 90, 180, 270, 360-day plan on how you tackle the growth in your business. And for everyone, it is a little bit different. So I'm going to get up a different screen, go back to my Canva presentation, and I'll get up this slide for you. No worries, Cher. Thank you for joining in. Appreciate so much you coming in, and hopefully we can chat again soon. So I'm going to grab up Canva again, present this, and what I want those who are watching, if you're live or if you're watching the recording, I want you to try and do this for yourself. This is like the takeaway for you guys. Like whether or not you work with us, you need a plan on what you're going to do moving forward for this business. And this is why we break it down to a fast path plan. Because I'll speak with someone like Chris, and when I get that kind of information where I can see he's got a solid product, I can see the website is performing okay, but the conversion rate could be a lot better with the website, and the branding could be a lot stronger. But he is running ads. However, he is making money. It is okay. This all affects the timing of which you do things. So, for example, if who's around here, if Justin was to come to me, or Mike was to come to me and say, "Hey, look, mate, I got this website. It's 1% conversion rate. I'm spending a couple grand on ads. It's not working for me." I'd say, "Hey, stop that. We need to flip around the way you're doing things and really nail this strategy." So, majority of you will probably be at a very similar scenario where maybe you're not running much on ads, and you're going to figure out, okay, how do I get to the point where I am running ads? So I'll kind of do this for you there. Paul, maybe you'll have to kind of be drawing for me again. But you'll see in the bottom left is the now. And these are the things we need to fix. These are the most urgent things for you over the next 90 days, where if you're spending, say, 100% of your time in the business, 80% of that time needs to be going into fixing these things, because it's the lowest hanging fruit in your business, where if you would improve them, that you would see the most amount of growth the soonest. So for anyone who's just starting their business, Mike, I know you're still around. Like, what stage of your business were you at from before? Were you startup, set up, scale up? Just let me know there, because I can kind of give you your situation as well for this. I think you're typing. I can't tell. Scale. Okay, perfect. So you're going to be a little bit different depending on how things are, but we'll kind of swap it around for you as well. But let's say you're just starting. You want to start by doing things right. A lot of people will get the idea that they need to go straight to ads. This will only burn money. We don't have a proven product. We don't have a brand messaging strategy. We don't have a business and a website. So for you guys, everything you're doing that isn't working on the product, or making sure you have a product that is good, that people actually like, needs to go towards figuring out your story and your store. And this is non-negotiable. I don't care what course you took, what anyone told you. If they're saying send money to a website and it's not converting well, it's not ready to scale, do not do it. You need to fix these two things immediately. Otherwise, you will not see any sort of growth. You're going to go backwards before you go forwards. And this isn't to say if you're just starting, you need to spend tens of thousands of dollars on this. There are different ways you can do this, but it is a thing that you need to focus on and improve every single week. You need to make better and better and better until it is at a level where you're able to start looking at how can I scale this business. So if you are from scratch and you've got a story, a store you've worked on for the last 90 days, Now we need to figure out what is our digital strategy? How are we getting traffic to this? So this is then we figure out, okay, over the next 180 days, we now need to build our sources of traffic. How are we getting people there? And everyone's business is different. Everyone's products are different. Some products are great for Meta because they are very direct response kind of things, like you put in their face and they go, yeah, I need that. Some products are very niche in that people who buy typically are already searching for it, and that might mean that Google is great for them or SEO is great for them. So we need to really figure out, okay, based on that, what's good for us right now? What's our budget to work with? How fast do we want to go? And look, what is the return on ad spend we need to be profitable? We can start deciding, okay, I might just start out with meta ads and really start nailing that for the next 90 days. And I'm not going to touch anything else. I'm just going to make meta ads work. And then over 270 days, now we've figured, okay, we've got a strategy of traffic that works for us. Maybe we've put organic as well on top of that to grow in the background. Now we're trying to think, okay, what can we do to bolster what we're doing now that we've got more revenue coming to the business and we have more to play with? Then we start thinking, okay, cool. I'm going to look at things like email, Klaviyo, maybe the long-term game like SEO, even micro influencers, things like this of this nature to start seeing different revenues of growth while we keep building and working on those things that we're already working on. And the reason why we do this is because it really is kind of the less hats you make yourself wear while you're running a business by yourself, the better you're going to be at each of those things. So people who hire agencies to run ads, for example, these people run ads 24/7. It's their job. So you've got to understand you'll never be as good as someone running ads, but no one will ever understand your business quite like you do. So you might, depending on budget, say, hey, right now I need to just run ads for myself, figure out how to get results, and then to really transform my business from 270 to 360 days, we hit a certain goal. Now I can reinvest to get someone to run them for me who's going to do them even better. So this is a little bit messy. Everyone can kind of be in different areas, but essentially the point here is that you can really take your situation and break it down to these are the 3 or 4 steps I need to implement over the next 360 days to start seeing that kind of growth. And if you can nail this down, guys, and really give that focus in those right areas, you will go a lot faster than everyone else. You're going to kind of ignore the noise. You're also going to stop making these really bad mistakes. And a lot of people, I hear these every single day, these mistakes people make because for example, someone I spoke to was like, this sounds really good, this website thing, but it doesn't have AI. I really need AI. And we can get attached to things like this that like are shiny objects that aren't actually going to get us that growth, but we spend our time on it. And that's what we're going to need to avoid because that's what really kills the amount of time you can invest and the amount of money that you have to also grow your business. So, I mean, I think it's really Mike here, mate. Do you like, you don't have to come off mute if you don't want, but do you feel comfortable in what your next 360 days like kind of plan of attack for your business is? And is it clear to you what you need to work on? You're off mute, but I can't hear. All good. Might be having issues with our mics.
Was that intentional with Mike's mic?
Right.
I wish it was. I wish I was that. How are you going?
When I think of 360, one, it's almost too far away to think what I will be potentially doing. I typically live in the 30-day realm of where do I focus and what I do next because, yeah, I tend to not think past that.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair enough. What we'll do
that's just because my current planning.
Yeah. That's absolutely fine as well. So the way we typically recommend doing this, and like you can do 30 days is even better if you're really nailed with your actions. But we like to reassess every 90 days for this very reason. So this isn't a thing where, definitely for people who are watching this and doing it for the first time, this isn't the type of thing where you do it once and you just blindly follow this. Business does change. There are ebbs and flows and you have to be able to adjust. But it's so important I mean, you're doing every 30 days, which is awesome. 30 days is even better. The more you come back to this and you reassess where we're at, how's that growth gone, the more you can kind of readjust and then go, okay, cool, these are the right moves. But what do you think are the things for you that you need to work on the most, say, the next 30 days? Do you already kind of have that down pat?
At the moment, no. I've taken a bit of a break. Just had a baby.
Congratulations.
But I'm sort of showing regards scaling and how to move the needle more. Like I've tried quite a few different things, and I have constantly, like every month, I'll review what can I fix to try and move it more. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Don't know if it's seasonal. Don't know. Yeah, knowing the numbers is hard to truly track what actually causes the movement. So where I'm at the moment.
Absolutely understood. Do you mind us having a look at the website or just like what the brand is? Are you open to sharing that?
So I've got a few different websites, and this is the one that I've shared today was fencesperth.com.
Oh, we did share. Sorry, I must have missed that, mate. Let's have a look. Anyone in the chat, if you saw Mike's link, could you link it for me? Fences Perth. Let's open this. Cool. Let's have a quick look. All right. Sorry, I've got like 100 Zoom screens in front of me right now. Trying to do this on one screen. All right. All right. Fences Perth. Beautiful. Okay.
At this space very well.
Lovely.
You have a few sites, don't you, Mike, in the fence space?
Yes.
I know your brand. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I know your competitors. Sorry.
Talk to me from a conversion rate standpoint, how everything's going for you. Are you happy with the performance of the website? Where are you getting stuck the most when it comes to scaling? There must be a couple of things that you've tried or
Yeah. So conversion rates, one, it's a little bit hard to clearly see just because of the ways that we bring people in. So we use a lot of links, and then so that's sort of ordered as a direct link, and then I don't know if it's an existing or not, so it's hard to fully track them as they move through all of our different funnels. But at the moment, I would say it's about a 3% conversion rate is sort of what I roughly checked last time. What I'm truly struggling with is, like, we run ads for, let's say, security fencing, and then the ads specific for security fencing that actually generate sales for slats or flat top pool fence. Like, I can't get a clear, this is what causes this type of sale. And so even when I try and turn up a ad, it doesn't directly relate to the sales in that specific category because so it's I don't have visibility in general.
So our data is kind of lacking there, which is a big part of like eventually when you are scaling, it is so important to be able to break down these numbers. When we kind of help people with a digital strategy to scale, one of the important things is we have to be able to track this stuff. We have to figure out what exactly are these numbers. That way we can actually, like you said, otherwise you don't know what levers to pull moving forward. Definitely a big deal. Are you doing the ads yourselves, or do you have an agency? What's the deal? What's the like on the back end?
We do the ads ourselves. We have used agencies numerous times. We could get better results than the agencies we've used. So just keep coming back to doing it ourselves internally.
Yeah. And do you have much of a team there behind you doing it? Like, do you have a marketing person, or is it just like a couple of you? And
3 people. Me, my business partner, and my developer, and actually for a VA.
Nice.
My business partner mainly does a lot of the ads. I do the website or systems processes, and VA helps with whatever we tell them to help with.
Yeah, awesome. So, like, we're at a point, like, just for people watching as well and put into perspective. So, from speaking with Mike, when you go back to that planner, he's kind of like, he's got a website that converts already. He's got a brand messaging, like, it's pretty brand that, the fence brand messaging is pretty straightforward. I can see you've obviously done this for a while and you've kind of nailed like what people are after, etc. You can always make these numbers better, like really nail the conversion rate and increase that, etc. But then for you, you've kind of already done those two things, and it's like the immediate next thing for you to focus on, which you already know. I'm just saying this for everyone else, would be that digital strategy side of things. How can we get more clear on the money that we're spending right now, where it's going, what the performance is, so then we know what levers to pull next. Which I think to tackle that probably isn't going to be something we do on this call. I'm probably going to have to get this stuff audited and get Paul and maybe our specialists involved. But if you're interested, mate, at the end of this, I'm going to send through a way that you can kind of get in contact with us afterwards, and maybe we can connect to go through, see honestly, like if we'd be able to help you out with this and maybe go through more detail. But yeah, it was nice meeting you. Thanks for jumping on and sharing your websites with us. We'll definitely go into a little bit more in terms of strategy that we can kind of help you tackle here. Is the whole business all fencing? Is it different businesses or just different websites kind of selling similar stuff?
We've got a few different parts of the business. We've got different fencing websites. And then we also sell products in fitness and pets as well.
Yeah. So cool. So a couple of different things. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to wrap up this call, but I'm going to share with you, and this is for everyone else watching as well, everyone who has watched. So let me share my screen again, present. I really hope everyone who watched this today got a bit of, or found it helpful in terms of like, what are the next steps, for your business, where you need to focus on, no matter what size you're on. Can you guys see the presentation screen at the moment? Yeah, perfect. Cool. So look, there are two ways to do this, and Mike, I'll share with you as well how we can do this. But look, there's two options to go about this moving forward, and I really want the people, especially who are just starting out, to really consider what are your next steps, because a lot of people will kind of go to a lot of events like these, go watch Google videos on Google and YouTube, and take in information that is old and doesn't work, and typically will only put you further behind. And I can't tell you the amount of conversations I've had with people who are after help, don't take it, and then later down the track come back to me like, I'm so much worse off than I was a year ago. I wish I got help earlier. So you have these two choices. One of them, the orange one, is kind of like, it makes Paul a little upset when you do this one because it makes it harder for us to help you down the road. And there is one that makes Paul a lot happier, and we'll kind of go through what those are. So the poor choice, again, is you choose to go it alone. Like, you can tackle these things and these problems based off what you think might be the right way, or what you hear off just random YouTube videos if you'd like. A lot of the time, like I said, you're going to get a lot of false hope, take information that's old, end up spending money on people and things that just don't quite get you where you want to go. The other thing you could do is work with people who do this every day and have done this for multiple brands, and hold a community full of people who are doing what you want to do and can attest to that. So much about this kind of space can be riddled with bad actors, and I know if you're here, you've probably interacted with them at some point, people who can't provide results that they say they can, or just teach things that are old and don't really care that it doesn't affect your life in a positive way. So what we try and do is we try to really take good people and just give them things that are working. This is a proven path. These are things that we've done time and time again, repeated for multiple businesses across many niches, many different sizes. It doesn't really matter like what kind of product, as long as it's not taboo. There is a way for you to grow if you have a good product and you're passionate about what you do. So for today, this is an old one. Don't worry about this. I'm just going to stay on this last slide. But what I want everyone to do, because like you found with me speaking to Mike just now, and me speaking with Chris before, and probably a lot of people who are watching this who are just beginners, everyone's path is going to be a little bit different. And I love to say, hey, here's like the one silver bullet thing that's going to fix everything for you. Doesn't work like that. Everyone needs to work on slightly different things at slightly different times. So what I'd love to do, Roxy, if you can get that link that I provided you earlier, everyone who wants to grow their business and wants to work with people who have done this time and time again and know how to help your brand grow, I'd love for you to just book a time on that link that Roxy's just dropped. And all this is going to be is a bit of a strategy session, like how I've gone through with Chris, and even just started touching on with you, Mike, just to start learning more about you, where you're at and what your goals are, to then say, okay, cool, this is what you're going to need to do over the next 90 days to really start hitting those goals. So I've left the link there. Mike, again, book any time that works for you. We'll connect over there. And again, this will just be a chance for me to learn everything about the business, everything you're doing, and then we can just go straight into, okay, cool, this is how I think we can fix it. how we can help you best. And it goes for everyone watching as well. It doesn't matter what size you are right now. I want you to book a time, and we'll just have a chat. And yeah, it'll be just like the event today. We're just going to go through what's working, what's not, where you want to go, and what can we do moving forward. So hopefully the session has been helpful for everybody. Mike, I think you're the last man standing. Did you find this one helpful? I know it's maybe not quite at the level you're hoping for specific help, but did you manage to get much out of today?
A little bit. Like I guess my biggest thing really is just clarity of data and
Yep.
to actually work out how I can plan those steps moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm always just either putting out fires or trying to work out what's not working or what is working.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a plan or a way to attack things.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Well, I'd love to connect with you, mate. Link is there. Book any time that works for you. We'll connect. Everyone else who's watching, appreciate you coming along. And I would love to speak with you also, and we'll go through what I think is going to be the best next steps for you. And just so you know, guys, when we work with people, we understand some people are just starting. We understand some people are just scaling, and the options of ways that you want to work and get help are going to be varying and very different. We try to cater this to whatever you're after, whatever's going to be a good fit for you. We'll try and cater to you in that way. So I know some people come in and they're like, I just started, I want to spend 10 grand on a new website. We don't do that. We don't. We understand that you're going to be a little bit more limited and your growth needs to be different. So thanks a lot for joining in, guys. I want you to go ahead, book a time. Links there again, and we'll talk to you in the near future. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for coming along, and we'll catch up soon. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.